بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
صلى الله عليك يا مولانا يا أبا عبد الله صلى الله عليك يا ابن رسول الله صلى الله عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين صلى الله عليك يا ابن فاطمة المظلومة ما خاب من تمسك بكم وأمن من لجأ إليكم يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز والله فوزا عظيما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولتكن منكم أمة يدعون إلى الخير ويأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
For the love of Abba Abdullah al-Hussein, with the loudest of our voices, صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
For the love of Imam صاحب العصر والزمان, روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء, صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. First of all, we thank Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us this moment and this opportunity. I'm definitely sure last year there were some brothers and sisters who were with us, either close friends or family, relatives, and tonight they are not with us, they are with their Lord in Darul Akhirah. It is a great opportunity that Almighty Allah has given us to renew our allegiance with the household of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. The theme I've chosen for my this year's discourse is building a well-informed and vibrant community. And tonight being the first night, we will look at an introductory discussion, and also tomorrow night and thereafter we will enter into the soul of our discussion. The aim and objective of this theme is to make brothers and sisters think pensively and deeply into the event of Karbala and the event of Ashura, and to be able to reform as an individual and as a community who are lovers and followers of Abba Abdullah al-Hussein salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. Therefore, the verse I've chosen for tonight's discourse is a very known and famous verse. to most of us who affiliate ourselves with Karbala and Ashura. It is from Quran 3 verse 104. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala in this particular verse said, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَعْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ. Allah knows that the ummah of beloved Prophet are so many. We are so many from different parts of the world. But Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala does not expect all of us to stand and promote righteousness and forbid evilness. Hence, Allah in this particular verse of Surah Al Imran is inviting few of us, those who are determined and those who are committed, to say, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ. There should be a group amongst you who will stand firmly, sincerely, for the sake of Allah, to promote righteousness and to forbid evilness. Now, departing from this verse, our topic of tonight with you brothers and sisters, which is a very, very important introduction to understand the rest of my discussion, is to look at correct approach to Karbala and Muharram. Correct approach to Karbala and Muharram. In other words, how do I supposed to approach Karbala? And how do I supposed to approach Muharram? How do I supposed to approach the majalis of Abu Abdullah? How do I supposed to approach the marthiyah and the azan of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salatu wassalam, most especially in the holy month of Muharram? And our examination will be of the following two stages. The first stage, we look at the essence and the definition of the correct approach to Muharram or Karbala. And the last stage, we will look at the methods of adopting the correct approach to Karbala and Muharram. And I will invite each and every one of you brothers and sisters to pay attention. And if you have any question from my discourses, feel free to contact me, feel free to approach me, dialogue with me, discuss with me, because the aim at the end is to become true lovers of Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam. The aim is not just to go for majalis. The aim is not just to go for lectures. The aim is not just to go to recite mankabat or marsiya or no. The aim is to take something out of the majlis and to see how best you implement that particular thing which you get from the majlis. If I and you attend the majalis of Abu Abdullah in the holy month of Muharram, and I fail or am able to implement those lessons that I acquire or obtain through the majalis of Ahlul Bayt, you know what will happen? On the day of Qiyamah, each and every letter, each and every hadith, each and every ayah, which these two ears listened and heard and fail to abide and follow, will become proof against you on the day of Qiyamah. Therefore, first night is important to set the pace for all of us to understand how to come to majalis, how to approach majlis, how to listen the majalis, and what to take home and what not to take home. When you look at this verse, Ali Imran 104, it manifested in the personality of Abu Abdullah on the 10th day of Muharram. Because Allah is talking about يَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ. They promote righteousness and they forbid evilness. Imam al-Hussein is the epitome of promoting righteousness and forbidding evilness. So the verse manifested in the personality of Abu Abdullah on the 10th day of Muharram. Hence, Ashura became a symbol to call to righteousness and symbol to forbid evilness. As if you are a lover of Hussein, and you are the lover of Muharram, and you are the lover of Safar, the fact that you love Muharram and Safar and Abu Abdullah, automatically Allah expects you to promote righteousness and to forbid evilness. That is why our beloved Prophet made it very clear about Muharram and Safar and about the personality of Abu Abdullah. Rasulullah beautifully mentioned. Whenever this riwayah is being mentioned, the Shias and the lovers of Abu Abdullah become so excited. But it's not about being excited. It's about thinking deeply whether you qualify to be called Ansar al-Hussein. What does Rasulullah says? Man ahabba Allahu bihi khair kadhafa fi qalbihi hubb al-Husayn wa dhurriyyat al-Husayn. Whoever Allah desires goodness for him or her, Allah drops and instills the love of Hussein in his heart and the love of the family of Hussein in his heart. Now, what is an approach to Muharram and Karbala? I want you to pay attention, brothers and sisters. There are two types of approach. We have a ta'amul tarihi and ta'amul madrasi. Historical approach to Muharram and Karbala, or intellectual approach to Muharram and Karbala. What is historical approach to Muharram and Karbala? This has to do with us. Those who come to Majlis every year. Every year we have Majalis across the world. Every year we have Majalis. We have a Mankabat, we have a Noah, we have a Marthia. So we need to understand the two approach. And you decide which approach you want. But I will show you which approach Ahlul Bayt want us to adopt, so that we got to be intervened on our behalf by the Imam of our time in this dunya and akhirah. The historical approach simply means we come together to Hussainiyya like this. Imam Bara, Maulana sits, he narrates the event of Karbala. The mullah come, recite Marthia and Noah. Then after that, wassalam, we go home. That's historical approach to Karbala and Muharram. Wherever you go in the world, in all the continent of the world, we have majalis. Maulana narrates the Masa'ib. He tells us what transpired in Karbala. Marsiya Khan comes, recite what happened in Karbala. We all cry. It's crucial, it's important, it's very requisite. But is that the aim? No. Is that the ultimatum? No. Is that what Ahlul Bayt? They said no. This is a step towards achieving the aim of attending the majalis and reciting the Marsiya. What is the aim? Intellectual approach to Karbala and Muharram. What is intellectual approach to Karbala and Muharram? It is to do, like scholars mention, اعتبار عاشوراء ومحرم مدرسة فاعلة في سلوك الإنسان المسلم. It's for you as a Muslim, the one who claims to love Amir al-Mu'mineen, to regard Karbala and Muharram influential factor in your life. Wherever you are, people see the reflection of the love of Hussein in you. Whether I'm at the mosque, or I'm at a shopping mall, I'm at a workplace, wherever I go, people see the qualities of Abu Abdullah and the qualities of Zainab in me. That is the intellectual approach to Karbala and Muharram. I ask you a simple question. Look at our approach worldwide as Shias. Is it intellectual or historical? Shias. Do we approach Karbala intellectually or historical? In most cases, we approach Karbala historical. It is an ada, it is norm, it's not an ibadah. It is our norm to meet every year, to recite majalis, to recite Noah. Then I ask you after that, has it changed you or not? It's like Salah, the same thing. Quran says, Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. That's the philosophy of salah. Allah says, once you establish that zuhur properly, it becomes a barrier for you to think of indulging into a sin. Question my father. You've been praying for 40 years, 50 years. Have you stopped gossiping? Have you stopped cheating? Majalis the same way. If we approach it historically, I know the history, I narrate the history, people get excited about it. Has it changed me or not? Because Aba Abdullah, when he goes out, it's not about anything but لِطَلَبِ الْإِصْلَاحِ فِي أُمَّةِ جَدِّ. Is to seek reformation, is to reform the ummah, is to reform the leadership, is to reform the followers. So now our majalis are to reform us, are to make us active members of our community. Our majalis are to take us closer to Allah. Our majalis are to strengthen our family ties and relationship. But we go to majalis, we spend so much money towards our majalis. We invite speakers, we invite people, yet we are not reformed and changed in accordance to the teachings of Aba Abdullah. Now you know the danger of approaching Karbala and Muharram historically cannot be overemphasized. There are 3 dangers. And I want you to look at these dangers and think about them to see whether we are examining with them or not. The first danger of approaching it historical, I know the history. We attend the majlis. It is confined with us and no other person else. It widened the gap and deepens the bridge between the other mazahib of Islam and Karbala. Because Shias made it DS. They made Hussein Muslim general rather than making Hussein universal figure. And because of that, other Muslims, Hanbali, Shafi'i, Hanafi, Maliki, even non-Muslims, Christians, they distance themselves from Karbala and Muharram. Whenever it's Muharram, only Shias are cheering up to go and sit in the majalis and discuss. You know why is it so? You do not blame them, you have to put the blame on the Shias. We make it ours. We are the custodians of Karbala. We are the custodians of Muharram. Hence others are not interested in it. This is the first danger. That others are not part of it. And that is why you find they don't have any majlis. They don't have any program in Muharram. Because they think this is for Shia. And that is how Shia made it to be perceived. That is why one great alim of Sunni, Qardawi, is famous. He said, yes, we believe Hussein Sayyid Shabab Ahli Jannah is the leader of the youth of Jannah. We agree. And he said, we also believe Karbala happened. But it's not only about Karbala. Why don't they commemorate Uhud? Because during the battle of Uhud, the tooth of Prophet was broken. Why do they do only Karbala and Muharram? He wrote in his book beautifully. He said during Uhud, Hind wanted to chew the liver of Hamza. It's a big musibah to the Ummah al-Islamiyah. Why is it that only in Muharram they gather and they commemorate, and they don't commemorate other events of Islam? Yes, we told him, of course, this is not our fault, because we are told al-Islam Muhammadi al-Huduth wa Husayni al-Baqa. The beginning of Islam is Muhammad, and the sustenance of Islam is with Hussein. But the problem as to why they distance themselves is because Shia don't want to go out and expose people to the beautiful principles taught and established by Aba Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. That's the first danger. The second danger of just approaching it historically, let's go to the mosque, after mosque I go home. I have nothing to do. I go to the mosque, I listen to the majlis, after that I go home. You know what the danger? The danger goes to a Shia himself. Especially those of us who are working and studying. And sometimes during the night of Muharram, you are unable to attend the majalis. Now, there are many people, when they are unable to attend the majalis, they feel so bad. They feel very bad. Maybe something beyond their control happened, and due to that, they are unable to attend. They feel very bad. I told them, no, why do you feel bad? This is beyond your control. If you approach Karbala and Muharram, intellectually, you will not feel bad, because wherever you are, there is the presence of Hussein with you. It's because we approach it this way. That is why you have the problem. You are sent for an assignment at work, and because of that, on the day of Ashura, you are unable to attend. And it is totally beyond your control. Why do you feel bad? Don't feel bad. Approach it intellectually in an educative way. Then you will feel the presence of Hussein wherever you are. And the third danger is Qatar Tarbawi. Is the danger of not having a proper upbringing through the teachings of Karbala. How? You know, the way we approach it, we widen a gap between Karbala and the philosophy of Karbala. Karbala as a philosophy. Karbala as aims and objective. Now, because of the way we approach it, we don't see the effect of Karbala in us. One example of the effect of Karbala is sabr, patience. How many of us do have patience on how to treat one another? And Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam had a lot of patience. Therefore, brothers and sisters, when we attend these majalis of Hussein, what we need to do is to try as much as we can, every night at least take one lesson back home. And when you get back home, sit around with your wife and children and discuss that lesson which you have learned from the majalis. And try as much as you can to implement that lesson in your life. Once you are able to do so, then your majlis is regarded the best of majlis. Now let us look at the second examination. What are the factors or the methods of approaching Muharram and Karbala intellectually? Because intellectually, I need to combine the two. I need to combine the historical approach and the intellectual approach together if I want my Muharram to be fruitful and to be effective. Now there are 4 ways and methods of approaching it intellectually. And if I'm able to put these 4 ways into perspective, then inshallah, Abu Abdullah will intercede on my behalf on the day of Qiyamah. The first one is to read the event of Karbala in an analytical way. Don't just listen to the event and go away. You need to think deeply about the event. You need to be able to deduce something. And here I want to invite the youngsters, the youth, both boys and girls. When you read the event of Karbala, don't just look at it on a face value. Go deep into the event and try to understand the event. I give you an example. The first example is that, you know, Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam, before the day of Ashura, he planned it very well. What did Abu Abdullah ask them to dig trench around Khaymaga, around his tent. And when they dug the trench, he ensured that people stood around the trench and they were holding the flags and the banners. That was one strategy of Abu Abdullah. So me as a Shia, I need to study this properly as to why Abu Abdullah adopted such a strategy. I don't just listen to it, Masai recited, and it is done, and I go my way. I have to analyze it and understand this strategy which was adopted by Hussein alayhi salam before the 10th day of Muharram. What is the philosophy of that strategy? What did Abu Abdullah achieve? And what lesson do I learn from Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam? The second strategy which was adopted by Abu Abdullah was the people who were around Abu Abdullah. There were old people, there were young people. There were women and there were men. There were people who were free and some were slaves and they became free under Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. There were infants. Abu Abdullah was around different people from different walks of life. This is also something that we need to sit around and discuss and study it and analyze it properly. And number 3 strategy which was adopted by Abu Abdullah, you find whoever had to go out to the battlefield, he would be proud of his family and clan. Example, Ali al-Akbar, when he went out, he would say, I am Ali al-Akbar, the son of Hussein, the son of Ali. Qasim, when he went out, alayhi salam, he would say, I am the son of Hassan, the grandson of Rasulullah. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam himself, when he went outside, he said, I am Ali, the son of Rasulullah. I am the son of the daughter of Rasulullah. This is also another strategy that we need to analyze and try to understand as to why all these companions of Abu Abdullah, whenever they had went out to defend humanity, they would remember their family and where they came from. And the last strategy which was adopted by Abu Abdullah was that Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam combined bravery and insaniyat, humanity at the same time. How? At one stage, Ali al-Akbar was dying, and Abu Abdullah was standing next to the body of Ali al-Akbar, and Hussein alayhi salam was crying and crying and crying. All of a sudden, Hussein was standing somewhere and he was defending humanity and Islam. The same way if I say that Zainab alayhi salam, when Hussein was about to go, she spoke to Abu Abdullah and she said, Abu Abdullah, can you take us back to Medina? The same way when Abu Abdullah left this world, Zainab came and stood by the body of Hussein and she knelt down, she lifted the body and she said, Ya Allah, takabbal minna hadha al-qurban. These are strategies. And we need to study these strategies and understand. What I personally learned from this is that we learn the administrative skills of Abu Abdullah Hussein alayhi salam. So the first method is to go back to drawing board and look at the strategies adopted by Abu Abdullah and to analyze those strategies and to be able to extract lessons from them. When someone sits here on the member and speak about what happened, or a brother come and recite what happened in Karbala, is to take that lesson. You as a young boy, as a young girl, go back home, study it, analyze it, take out certain lessons from it. Because Hussein is not for that day. Hussein is for all time until the day of Qiyamah.
Husseiniyyat Zindabad. Husseiniyyat Zindabad. Husseiniyyat Zindabad. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
The second method and approach, these are just introductions for brothers and sisters to know their roles and responsibilities towards the message of Hussein alayhi salam, is to explore an attractive media. Attractive media, brothers and sisters, is to explore the mainstream media. Hussein, understand, brothers and sisters, is not a Shi'i general. I repeat that again. It's not a Muslim general. Hussein is universal principle. Hussein belongs to all Muslims and non-Muslims alike. He stood for justice. He stood for love. He stood for freedom. He stood for poverty alleviation. Hussein is for all. So it is a sin for the Shias to keep Hussein to themselves and not to expose the world to the beautiful messages and the stance of Abu Abdullah Hussein. Number one, you have a role to play. Analyze it properly. Member cannot do justice to everything. It's impossible. Go back home. Take one aspect of the event. Analyze it and extract lesson. Number two, explore media, brothers and sisters. Those of us who are well-to-do, Allah has given you the blessings of this world during the month of Muharram and the month of Safar. Go and buy slots in a top radio station, TV station, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Let people discuss the good qualities that Abba Abdullah taught us. We know today there are so many campaigns in the world, especially who is Hussein. May God bless the one who began it and those who are continuing with it. But we have not yet reached the peak. So the second method to approach Karbala and Muharram intellectually is not to keep it to ourselves. The world need the message of Hussein. Our youth need the message of Hussein. It is a message of liberation. It is a message that will free you. It is a message that will make you contented with whatever given to you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Today when you look at the world, when it is the day of Christmas, people exchange gift and cards. I want to suggest this way, because being a convert who converted to Shiism, I know how Abba Abdullah touched my heart. And I cried every year Muharram when I see us Shias keeping Hussein only to Imam Bara and to our mosque. Where are the rich people in our communities? Why can't you go? Let one of our boys or girls here who are qualified and they are educated, let them write a piece to one of the best newspapers and pay for it to be published so that people get exposure to the message of Hussein. That is the second approach. Intellectually to Karbala and Muharram. When it is on the 10th day of Muharram, this is what I want to suggest. Why can't you make cards? Make them black or red, up to you. But write small message of Abba Abdullah. Your colleagues at work, school, share with them. Let them get one message of Hussein alayhi salam. Hussein is not about making someone Muslim, no ways. Hussein is not about making someone Shia, la. Hussein is a leader for all. This is your duty, my father, and this is my duty as a speaker. We've not yet reached there as Shias. How many majalis do we have in the world in Muharram? Uncountable. Uncountable majalis in the world. How many of us are on the mainstream media? Local newspapers. There's nothing to hide. Hussein is about love. It's about compassion. It's about peaceful coexistence. If Hussein is like that, what stops you, my brother and my sister, from taking Hussein to your workplace? Isn't it Ahlul Bayt mentioned? لَوْ عَلِمُوا النَّاسُ مَحَاسِنَ كَلَامِنَا لَاتَّبَعُونَا. Ahlul Bayt said, if people will get to know the beauty of our message, they will all get inclined to us. Number 3, taking much of your time. To approach it intellectually is ihtimam بالتربوية والسلوكية. Is to pay attention to your individual life and your relation to the members of your community. And when I talk of your relation to the members of the community, I'm not talking of only your Shia members of the community, the broader community, at school, on campus, at your workplace, at shopping mall. How do you relate to people as a Shia? This is how you approach Hussein alayhi salam. Every night majlis should bring about change in your life. That is what Hussein stood for. That is why when companions of Hussein ask him, Ya Abu Abdullah, why is it that people don't listen to you? You've been trying. Wallahi, personally, brothers and sisters, when I think about this, I cry sometimes. I ask myself whether I'm doing the right thing or not. I personally. You know what Hussein responded? He said, لِأَنَّ بُطُونَهُمْ مَلِيئَ بِالْحَرَامِ. You know why they are not listening to me? Because their tummy is filled with haram. When haram is too much, you get blocked here. You cannot take it. So the third approach is look at my tarbawi, my personal spiritual development. And then I look at my relationship to Asim, my relationship to Muhammad Abbas, my relationship to Hajj Kawthar. I look at my relationship to people. Are we not the people when on the 10th day of Muharram we recite Masa'ib and we said Al min Nasirin Yansuruna Wikra? 1,300 years or more when Abu Abdullah chanted this slogan. Up to now, Abu Abdullah is waiting for our response. Have you responded? Have I responded? I'm not sure. If you were in Karbala, in which group were you going to be, my father? It's easier said than done. But it's not easy. So I want to invite you and myself, as we begin our commemoration sessions, let's begin with self-introspection. Let's get to the member or get to Imam Bara and sit for majlis as women, as youth, as young, as old, as fathers and mothers, prepare and pledging our allegiance to say, Abu Abdullah, this year 2016, my aim of attending majlis is number one, bring change to myself and my family and try to reach out to people that have wronged in my life. Are you ready to help him? But you know, in one of the ziyarah, this is where I'm coming to an end. In one of the ziyarah, what we recite? إِن لَمْ يَكُنْ بَدَنِي إِنَّا إِسْتِغَاثَتِكَ. If my body was not there when you were calling Ali bin Nasirin to help me, my body was not there. I wasn't there, Abu Abdullah. And of course, I did not hear from close. I was told by an alim or from a book. But فَقَدْ أَجَابَ قَلْبِي. Abu Abdullah, I want to respond to you now with my heart. That's your response. That's my response. It's like Imam Zaman is saying, time did not permit me to be in Karbala with you, Osai. But لَأَنْدُبَنَّكَ صَبَاحًا وَمَسَاءً وَلَأَبْقِيَنَّ عَلَيْكَ بَدَلَ الدُّ. Everybody is playing his part. Are you playing your part? Imam Zaman said, time did not permit me. I wasn't in Karbala. But I will cry for you blood instead of tears. What does it mean? It's metaphor. Meaning, I feel the pain of your slaying, and I'll try as much as I can to keep your legacy, O Hussein alayhi salam. Now, how do you respond with your heart, my father? Your heart. Hussein need your heart. Bring your heart to majlis. How do you respond with your heart, my mothers? I mentioned this in Nairobi. I said, look, Muharram, we invite speakers. We pay them hadiyah, tickets. Good. But if we do not change, it becomes a waste. Waste. Majlis nice, good, nice. But have you changed? That's the point. We need to take majalis to the next level. That every majlis I go, I ask myself, has it touched my heart? Am I a changed person? Am I heading towards positive change or not? So in terms of tarbawi, how do you respond with your heart? Ashura and Muharram is about ibadah and salah. On the night of Ashura, Sayyidah Zainab, Imam Zain al-Abidin, Imam al-Bakir, Abu Abdullah, they were all chanting the praises of Allah and they were worshipping Allah. Do I attend to my salat like that? You love Hussein? Yes, I love Hussein. How is your salah? Is it on time? Is it with Jama'ah? That is what Muharram is all about. If I don't do that, then there's something wrong with me. Isn't it Hussein had to make his zuhr before he attempted to defend Islam? When Abu Thumama came to him, oh Abu Thumama, Allah made you among those who established salah. So Tarbawi, you have to approach that way. Look at your ibadah. That is that personal development I'm talking about. And your relationship with others. Wherever you go, you have to portray Islam. Islam is a very beautiful religion. It's a religion of peace and love. Some of us, when we go somewhere, we hide our identity as Muslims. We hide our identity. What's wrong with you showing that you are a Muslim? So therefore, brothers, we need to try as much as we can. Become beauty for us with your conduct. Don't become shameful for us, Ahlul Bayt. And in conclusion, as we enter into the Masa'ib of tonight, Allahu Akbar. That is the last point I want to make, brothers and sisters. You know, Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, she looked at the enemies and she asked them, is it fair that you keep your wives intact with their hijab and you tempered with our hijab? Allahu Akbar. You know the point I'm trying to make here. I want to say, my dear mother, my dear sister, you want Zahara to look at your face and smile. You want Zainab to look at your face and smile. You want Zainab to accept this majlis on your behalf. I know it's difficult to wear hijab. It's not easy to go to work. Sometimes it's not easy. But try to make Fatima Zahra proud. Tonight being the first night, we remember our beloved Master Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam. Because you are told, كُلُّ عَيْنٍ بَاكِيَةً يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ إِلَّا عَيْنًا بَكَتْ لِلْحُسَيْنِ. Every eye will cry on the day of Qiyamah, except the eye that cries sincerely for Aba Abdullah Hussein. Open your heart, my brothers and sisters. This is Muharram. It is the month to go back to Allah. Tomorrow we're going to discuss the true tears and the false tears. We've gathered tonight to honor those personalities who gave their lives for the sake of humanity and Islam. That is why when you read verses of Quran, Allah will tell Rasulullah, remember Ibrahim, remember Ishaq, and remember Yaqub. Why Allah wants us to remember all these prophets of Allah? Because they laid down their lives for the sake of humanity. And no doubt there is no better person who inspire us to remember Aba Abdullah in our majalis al-Husayn, especially in the holy month of Muharram. That is Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam. Imam Zainul Abidin in his khutbah in Sham, he had to remember Hamza of Ghazwat Uhud. He remembered Ja'far al-Tayyar. He remembered Rasul Allah. He remembered Amir al-Mu'mineen, the Shaheed of Mihrab Masjid Kufa. He remembered our beloved mother Fatima al-Zahra. That is why narration says, when they pushed the door on Fatima, when they pushed the door on Fatima, you know what happened. Imam Zainul Abidin remembered her in Shama. We are told during the time of Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam, there was a lady who was walking in the market of Banu Umayyah early morning. All of a sudden this lady fell down. The moment she fell down, she said, may the curse of Allah be on the killer of Fatima al-Zahra. This lady was arrested. A companion of Imam Ja'far saw that and he went to report it to Imam Ja'far alayhi salam. Imam Ja'far, I want you to make dua for the lady to be released. Ajrukum ala Allah. Listen to this musibah. Wallah, Imam Ja'far made dua and the lady was released. When they brought the lady to Ja'far al-Sadiq, he asked the old lady, why did you curse the killer of my mom when you were falling down? She said, oh my beloved Imam, I was falling on my rib. That was the moment I realized the pain that Fatima al-Zahra went through. Isn't it narration says when Amir al-Mu'minin was busy making the ghusl of Fatima al-Zahra, Asma bint Umays narrated to say, I was in the other room. All of a sudden I heard Amir al-Mu'minin screaming like a baby. Amir al-Mu'minin, why are you screaming like a baby? Asma said, when I approached Amir al-Mu'minin, he told me, oh Asma, as I'm busy making the ghusl of my beloved wife Fatima al-Zahra, my hand went and touched the broken rib of Fatima al-Zahra. She is al-Masa'ib. To remember her is very important. Narration says, when they were taking Fatima al-Zahra to a final place, Imam al-Hassan came and hugged the mother. He sat next to the chest of the mother. Amma, painful quietness. Then Aba Abdullah came to the body of Fatima al-Zahra. We are told Amir al-Mu'minin was inspired to remove Hussein from the body of Fatima. Arbab al-Maqatil asked this simple question. If angels could not bear to see Hussein on the chest of Fatima, how did the angels see shimmer on the chest of Aba Abdullah? Narration says Imam Zayn al-Abidin, as he was walking in Madinatul Munawwara, he met a butcher. The butcher was slaughtering animals after animal after animal, providing water to each animal. Imam Zayn came close to this butcher. He said, oh butcher, can I ask you a question? He said, yes. Do you give water to every animal before you slaughter? He said, yes, it's sunnah to give water. Imam Zayn said, wallah, they denied my father water. One narration says, Imam Zayn al-Abidin was walking in Medina. Then he met a man. He said, man, can I ask you one question? He said, yes. He said, man, when I die, will you bury me? He said, of course. What sort of question is this? Every person deserves to be buried. He said, oh Allah, they left the body of my father 3 days without burial. Isn't it on that night, Sham Gariba, when Daylam, the wife of Zuhair, gave the piece of cloth to her servant? Servants, go around Karbala in this darkness of the night. When you see the body of Zuhair, cover him with the cloth. The servant went around and he came back while holding the piece of cloth. Daylam asked him, why haven't you seen Zuhair? He said, wallah, Daylam, I saw the body of Zuhair. I could not cover because I saw Hussein uncovered. So Imam Zalabdi said, will you bury me? He said, yes, I will bury you. He said, my father was left 3 days without burial. And the last segment of the Musibah, Imam Zayn al-Abidin had a man in Medina shouting, lamenting, stranger, 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 stranger. Imam came next to him. Why are you calling yourself a stranger? Do you have a house to sleep? He said, yes, I have a house. Food to eat? He said, I have food to eat. When you die, will you be buried? He said, yes. You don't call yourself a stranger. Stranger is the man of Karbala. And the best person to narrate is Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam. Narration says when Zainul Abidin was dying, when the poison started to affect Zainul Abidin, Baqir came and hugged Zainul Abidin. Both of them started crying and crying. Imam Baqir asked Zainul Abidin, "Father, why are you crying so much?" Then let me leave you with this response. Ajrukum ala Allah. Zainul Abidin looked at Baqir and the tears overflowing from the eyes. He said, "Oh my beloved son, I'm not crying because I'm scared of death. No. Here I am, Zainul Abidin, dying, and Baqir, you are on my chest hugging me. But when my father was dying, someone kicked the left leg, someone kicked the chest, someone poked the lip of my father. I'm crying because eventually someone sat on the chest of my father. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين.